You ever feel like you're looking into this whole other world, with its own rules, its own experts, and you just wish someone could break it down for you? Simply.
Yeah, without all the heavy jargon.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into competitive car audio judging, specifically the DB Drag Racing Association, dBDRA. Think of this as your backstage pass. We're figuring out who these officials are, what makes them tick.
And dBDRA, I mean, it's a pretty big deal in that world. They're seen as the global leader.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Since '98, they've overseen something like over 25,000 events. That's a lot. It shows you the kind of structure they have.
Wow. Okay. 25,000. So, if you think pro sports, dBDRA is kind of the NFL for car audio competitions, setting the rules, the standards.
That's a great analogy, actually. Yeah. They provide the framework, the regulations, and they have these dedicated officials making sure it's all fair play.
Okay. So today, we're looking at some introductory material they have about becoming one of those judges. But let's be clear up front. We're not going to get lost in the weeds of every single competition rule or, the super technical specs of the sound.
Yeah, that's a whole other level, a different deep dive, maybe.
Maybe.
But what's really interesting here, I think, is getting the foundations down. Like, what are these judges actually responsible for?
Yeah.
What kind of image do they need to project? And how do you even become one? What's the path?
Exactly. So if you've ever seen those folks at car shows
Yes.
with the sound meters looking all official,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe even thought, hey, I could do that. Well, this is for you. We're unpacking the essentials based on this intro course.
What the role involves, the basic gear needed.
Yep. How they need to present themselves, the certification stuff. By the end, you should have a really solid picture.
Sounds good.
The role of a dBDRA judge, it's definitely more than just having, really good ears, right?
Oh, absolutely. The material we looked at makes that super clear. It's multifaceted. It actually starts way before competition day.
Before. How so?
Well, one big part is coordinating events. There's a surprising amount of planning involved. Logistics.
Coordinating events.
Yeah.
Okay. So not just showing up on the day, what does that coordination look like?
Well, think about it. You need a place to hold the event, right? So securing a venue, finding sponsors maybe to help support it. You need to officially register the event with dBDRA.
Right. Make it official.
And then you got to promote it, get competitors and maybe spectators interested. Often the judge is kind of the point person locally for making all that happen.
Huh. So they're almost like a mini event director, too.
In a way, yeah. They need initiative, good organizational skills. It's not just about the judging itself.
That makes sense. Sorts out the groundwork. Okay, so what about during the competition? That's the officiating competitions part.
Exactly. Yeah, this is more what you probably picture. Setting up the judging area, making sure it's safe, making sure it's set up right for accurate readings.
Okay.
They also inspect the competitors' setups, though, our source doesn't go deep into what they inspect.
Gotcha. Just that they do it.
Right. And then, crucially, they take the measurements, objective sound measurements, using the official gear. That's key for fairness. Data-driven.
Right. Not just who sounds loudest, but actual numbers based on the rules. Okay. And the third bit was mastering communication. It sounds like more than just yelling out scores.
Definitely. A lot of the time, the judge is also the MC, the master of ceremonies. So they're the voice of the event, guiding things along, keeping the energy up, handing out the awards at the end.
Right.
How well they communicate, their whole vibe really sets the tone, makes it fun, keeps it fair. It's this interesting mix of technical oversight and public speaking.
Wow. So part planner, part tech official, part hype person. That's broader than I thought.
Yeah.
Lesson 2 gets into the gear. I'm guessing some pretty specialized stuff.
You are definitely on the right track there. Specialized is a good word. The material breaks it down. First up, tech essentials. And yeah, tech is critical for accuracy.
Makes sense. What kind of tech?
Well, it specifically calls out needing a pretty solid Windows laptop. Interestingly, it says a 17-inch screen is preferred.
Huh. 17-inch specifically. Why so big? Any idea?
Well, I'd guess it's probably for the scoring software. You might have multiple things to watch at once. SPL, power, timing. A bigger screen just makes it easier to see everything clearly, make quick calls.
Okay, easier to manage the data in real time.
Probably. And that laptop runs the main measurement tool, the TermLab Magnum system.
TermLab Magnum. Sounds serious.
It is. It's described as the industry standard. Measures the sound pressure level, the SPL, and also the power output. Super precise, takes the guesswork out, ensures it's all objective based on peak decibels.
Great. Powerful laptop, precise TermLab system. Core measurement tools. Got it.
What else is in their kit?
Well, beyond the actual measuring tech, there's the whole event setup, the physical stuff.
It's like branded dBDRA tents, makes it look official, recognizable.
Visible authority.
Exactly. And sturdy tables, chairs. You need a stable, organized place for all that expensive gear. It needs to be professional looking, but also practical. Weather ready, keeps the equipment safe.
Good point. Can't have your laptop sliding off a wobbly table in the rain.
Definitely not.
What about the crowd? Keeping them involved?
Yeah, that's covered under visual and audio impacts. So think large video displays, shows the scores live.
Oh, cool. So everyone sees the results instantly.
Yeah, competitors, spectators, everyone's in the loop. Plus, a reliable PA system, super important.
For
announcements, instructions to competitors, and for the judge acting as MC to deliver that energetic commentary we talked about. Keep people engaged.
So it's about the experience, too, not just the raw numbers. Makes sense. And the last bit was professional branding. What's that involve?
That's mostly visual reinforcement, dBDRA, banners, other signage, displayed prominently.
Right, like you see at any big sporting event.
Exactly. The source says, first impressions matter. A professionally branded setup builds that credibility, that authority right away. It feels like a serious competition.
Yeah, it all adds up to that feeling of legitimacy, being part of something well run, like the NFL branding example.
Yeah.
Okay, responsibilities, gear, check. Now, lesson 3 talks about how judges need to present themselves. This feels like it's about more than just the equipment.
Oh, absolutely. You're spot on. The material really hammers this home. A dBDRA judge is the face of the organization at that event. So how they look, how they act, even online, it's all really important.
Okay.
First point is dress the part.
Is there like a uniform, stripes and a whistle?
Not quite that formal. But yeah, the focus is definitely on wearing official dBDRA attire.
Okay.
And crucially, avoiding other logos. Dressing appropriately for wherever the event is. It's like their badge of authority. Sets a professional tone immediately. A visual cue.
Like a referee's uniform, yeah. Instantly recognizable. Adds credibility. Okay. What about their workspace at the event? The judging station setup?
Yeah, this ties back into professionalism. Banners up, clearly visible. The whole area needs to be clean, organized.
Tidy desk, tidy mind.
Something like that. And safe, obviously. For them, for the gear, for people nearby. A messy, disorganized station just doesn't inspire confidence,
Definitely not.
So.
Okay, and we touched on the MC role, but master the mic seems pretty vital. What are the expectations there?
It's all about driving positive energy, being upbeat, enthusiastic, clear.
Okay.
Language has got to be professional, clean, no off-color jokes, and super important, brand neutrality. Meaning no name-dropping specific installers or shops, no personal endorsements, just stick to the event, the competition, the dBDRA, keep it positive and focused.
Right. Keep it pro, keep it clean, keep the energy up. Gotcha. Now, the last point here, keep it clean online. In this day and age, that's huge, I bet.
Absolutely critical. The material is very clear. Your online presence is basically an extension of your judge role.
So watch what you post on Facebook.
Pretty much. Be respectful online, stay out of messy public arguments, especially on hot-button topics. Just maintain a professional digital footprint.
Because you're always representing dBDRA.
Exactly. Even off-duty. Your online behavior reflects on the whole organization. It's all about protecting that brand image, that reputation for being credible, professional.
Makes total sense. Now, how does someone actually become a judge and move up? Lesson 4 is judging certification. Sounds like there's a ladder to climb.
Yep, exactly. It's a structured path designed to build experience, ensure standards are consistent across all their events. It starts with 1X certification as a starting line.
And here's the interesting thing. At this level, you don't actually need a formal certification to officiate.
Really? None at all. So if I kind of know the rules, I can just jump in at a 1X event.
That seems to be the idea, yeah. It's meant to be an easy entry point, let people get some real experience, see how it works.
Get your feet wet. Exactly. As long as you understand the rules and can apply them, you can help out officiate at these basic entry-level events. See if it's really for you.
Okay, that low barrier makes sense. Good way to find potential talent. What's the next step up?
That would be 2X certification, stepping into leadership. Now, here, things get more formal. more responsibility.
Okay, what do you need for 2X?
All right, so you need to have actually been in charge of at least 5 1X events in the last year.
Okay, prove you can run the basic show.
Right, practical experience. Plus, you need to assist at a bigger 3X event, kind of like shadowing, learning from the more experienced judges.
Makes sense. See how the bigger events run.
And finally, you need a 2X endorsement from a 3X head judge. Basically, someone senior saying, yep, this person knows their stuff.
So it's experience plus mentorship plus validation. And with 2X, you can then run your own 1X and 2X events.
Exactly right. It's a definite step up. More autonomy, handling slightly bigger events.
Okay. What comes after 2X?
Next is 3X certification, becoming elite. Now we're talking judges who handle regional, maybe even national level competitions, higher stakes, more complex.
Okay, elite level. Higher demands. What's required for 3X?
So for 3X, you need to have successfully led 2 2X events in the past year. Show you can handle that intermediate level consistently.
Okay. Build on the 2X experience.
Yep. And you also need to run a 3X event, but under supervision from a certified 3X or maybe even a 4X judge.
Ah, so practical experience at the higher level, but with oversight.
Exactly. Learn the ropes of the bigger, more complex events. And just like before, you need that 3X endorsement from your supervising judge. Confirmation, you're ready.
Seems like each level really builds on the last. More experience, more complex situations, validated by senior people. So what's the absolute top? You mentioned 4X.
Yeah, 4X certification judging at the highest level, that's the peak. These are the judges trusted for the finals, the biggest dBDRA events, where competition is fiercest.
The best of the best.
Pretty much. To get there, you obviously need to be 3X certified already. And then you need to take a lead judging role at an actual 4X finals level event. Prove you can handle the pressure and complexity at the absolute highest tier. It's the top level of skill, experience, and trust in their judging community.
Wow. So it really is a proper progression, a career path almost. Within this niche world, it's clear they value having really qualified, experienced people running things, just like a pro sports league.
Absolutely. That whole structure, the certification path, it's all about consistency, deep rule knowledge, and making sure judges can handle any level of competition fairly and effectively. It protects the integrity of the whole thing.
Yeah, it really does. So bringing it all together, this whole deep dive, it really shows how much goes into being a dBDRA judge.
Yeah.
It's definitely not just about listening closely and reading a meter.
Not at all.
You've got the event coordination side, the actual officiating being fair and accurate, that crucial communication piece acting as MC.
Mm-hmm. The need for professional presentation online and off.
Right, and that clear path for getting certified and moving up.
Yeah.
It's pretty comprehensive.
It really is. I think, you walk away with a much fuller picture than just guy with a sound meter. It takes leadership, tech savviness, even though we skipped the deep dive on gear rules today, good communication skills.
Yeah.
And just a real commitment to being professional, just like you'd expect from, well, an NFL ref or umpire.
It definitely gives you a new appreciation for what they do, making those events run smoothly and fairly. So thinking about this, for you listening, what part of being a dBDRA judge did you find maybe most surprising or most challenging?
Was it that blend, maybe? The tech side mixed with the public speaking?
Or perhaps the dedication needed to climb those certification levels. Maybe now you're thinking you might check out a dBDRA event, see these judges in action with a bit more understanding.
Yeah.
If any of this sparked your interest, definitely check out the dBDRA website. I'm sure they've got all the details, the rule books we didn't cover, everything.
It's a whole fascinating world, competitive car audio.
And the judges are right there in the middle, making sure it runs right. The dedicated pros, ensuring the integrity and, the excitement.